My name is Pastor Roy Whedon with the Williamsport Seventh Day Adventist Church. I arrived here a year and a half ago from the Albany, New York area. This church was built in 1908. There had been some discussions before I got here that this church may be up for sale. Of the 113 years that this building has been here, we've occupied 66 of it. It resided before these two sides of the north and southbound lanes of Market Street Bridge were ever done. It was a single lane bridge that ran over here level with the church. In fact, the whole church had to be moved slightly in order to accommodate the construction. You know, these are photos of what it looked like with just a single bridge going across the river, and then another shot of what it looks like with it split going north and south on Highway 15. We've kind of outgrown this beautiful church, and we have become a church that is focused on educating young people. Our school, in the middle of COVID, doubled in size, and we have some property over there. So we talked about the options of, do we go to another spot? Can we build here? But we were kind of landlocked with other enterprises that were around us here. We do not really want to leave this beautiful facility, but in order to fulfill our mission and where we think God is moving us to go, we need to be in some different accommodations to fulfill that mission. It was never my goal to move this church, to sell this church. It just became obvious the way God's leading was going that we needed to have the conversation. We did, and the church voted to say, yeah, it's time. We hate to see it go, but it is time. Muncie Bank and Trust Company will be establishing a branch right here on this spot.
We were established in 1893. Currently here in Muncie, this is our headquarters, and will continue to be corporate headquarters. But we're busting at the seams. When we first looked at the property, one of the first questions, is there a way that we can work with the current structure there? And unfortunately, it's just not functional. We're anxious that we were able to work with the church and fulfill their aspirations and needs with building a new church on their South Williamsport complex. So it's certainly a nice win for them. And we're working closely with the Historical Society. There's certain things they would like out of the church to go in the historical museum, such as the cornerstone and a few other things. And the church is taking some sentimental items out of it as well. I know the pastor's working with someone on the stained glass window. We're going to do whatever we can to work with the community to save anything that needs to be saved. Since it is a gateway building into the community, we're gonna build something very nice there. We're hoping to have the office open first quarter of 2022.
The history here is rather enormous. We're really sad to see it go, but we will try to preserve a timeline. I've got some plans here that I'm showing the congregation this week regarding our new facility that will take up to a year to build, and it will be over where our school location is right now on Fleming Street. But this is a picture of our entire complete complex. It'll be a joined complex with a gymnasium in the middle. We have property that borders on Charles and Fleming Street and Southern Ave in a couple blocks east of here. And the school side is here. Sanctuary side and worship side is here with the offices. And the sanctuary and the classrooms will be designed for community-based fellowship and small group ministries that has been rather difficult to perform here. We haven't had a kitchen in this building to do fellowship meals. We've had to go over to the school. So we'll have a commercial kitchen where we'll be doing a fellowship over there and a meeting hall there as well. There's so much heartfelt emotion that is still attached to this structure. Having something that's been such a bedrock corner staple that people love to see as they travel by and everything, it is going away. It doesn't mean that that's the end. It just means that there's another chapter being written, and we hope to make as much of an impact in the Williamsport community as we have already, and maybe bigger. This weekend is our last official weekend coming up in this church, and Saturday evening we will be having a kind of a remembrance ceremony. We would have done much bigger things had it not been for COVID, but we're gonna have that. But what we're really excited about is that this is not a contrast between old and new. And one of the things I've been very focused on and talking with my members about is that this is not like, okay, we had this old building and now we're going to get a new building type thing. This is just a continuance of the mission that we've been doing for 140 years here in Williamsport, and now we're in the 21st century, and 21st century requires 21st century tools in order to do the things that God has called us to do. So we're responding to that.
Thank you, dear.
There you go.
Oh, check out these red potatoes. They are awesome.
I'm telling jokes. Come on, tell me a joke. Tell me one about your dog.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
My greatest breakthrough is being a husband again. That's why I chose UPMC.